ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm seeing attendees. I'm seeing everybody. You all should be able to chat. Hold on, let me make sure that everybody's coming in. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. This is the Freedom Series number 5, and we have our special guest, Mrs. Kawanna McGill. Welcome. Thank you for
Hello,
coming.
hello. Yes, I'm glad to be here.
I know that people are wanting to send their greetings to you in the chat. They're very excited. I am streaming live on YouTube, everyone, because I know that we have a full class tonight. So we have a hand up. Adrian Diggs, do you have a question or any issues, technical difficulties?
That was by accident. Sorry.
No problem. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. All right. So I'm just going to make sure that people could chat. Hold on, hold on. I don't think. Yep, it looks like everybody can chat. So can you all give me a yes in the chat if you all can type there and if you all are seeing? Oh, there we are. Okay, here's all the yes. All right, everybody, good evening. Welcome. There is a Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. If you're joining us on your mobile app, you will probably have to click more at the bottom of your screen and then you see the Q&A section. However, if you are on desktop, you should see Q&A right at the bottom of your screen. If you all have any questions for Mrs. Kawanna McGill, you can ask away. And I have the first question. Mrs. Kawanna, can you tell us your origin story? Lots of people are now getting to know you. They're now hearing your name, lots of the newer ones especially. And for the older Abakuas members, they're like, oh my God, it's Kawanna, she's back. Can you please tell us your origins? How did you hear of the Abakuas? How long were you with us? How did you evolve as a trader? Tell us the details. I want to hear the details of the origin story of Mrs. Kawanna.
All right, let's get into the details. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I'm Kawanna McGill, a wonderful, happy married woman. My husband is Dewan. I have 5 beautiful children. I have 2 grandchildren, and y'all would not be surprised, and one on the way. Yes,
Congratulations!
found out yesterday.
That is awesome.
Yes,
Congrats. Oh, congrats to your family.
yes, a whole nother portfolio to add. All
Oh,
right, so
I know what you're
I know,
thinking.
right? One more to add. Yep, one more to add. So, hi, my name is Kawanna McGill. Let me tell y'all something. My journey in the stock market actually began long before I opened the chart. My father, he planted the first seed. Okay. He would have my husband and me look up companies. We would study how they move. We would observe investments. But he left breadcrumbs for us to follow. And he always encouraged us to like go into investment. But he did tell me, he said, Kawana, you'll be good at this. And I'm like, really? I'm gonna be good at this? He was like, yeah, you'll be good at this because you're very analytical and you pay attention to things and you read patterns very well and you pay attention to things. And I'm like, okay. Well, at that time, me and my husband, we were already entrepreneurs before I came into the Abakuas. We had our own transportation company. We tried many different things, network marketing. Man, y'all, I was in so many network marketing companies where we was in leadership and we had teams and things like that. But I was always searching for that thing. And I was always searching for that opportunity to like change my family's life. And like anybody else would, still searching, looking. I know this gonna be it. I hope this gonna be it, and you keep trying and you keep investing in yourself over and over again. So me and my husband did that with our children. It was 2 at the time. It was my son, he was 7 years old at the time. And I was doing this when he was a baby at 2. We was trying like different things. I'm not gonna name all the network marketing companies, but when I say all of them, it's almost like we tried all of them, okay? Um, and selling products and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to find your niche, you know what I'm saying? You have to find what really works for you. So at the time, my husband and I had our transportation company. I was in cybersecurity field. I was getting my master's in cybersecurity. So I was in the tech field. I was going hard in tech, right? I just knew that was going to be it. But y'all wouldn't happen to know. Before that, I was doing nursing. I flunked out of nursing Then I went into naturopathic medicine school, left naturopathic medicine, went into tech, right? And that was the thing. But as of December of 2019, check this out, is while I was finishing my master's in cybersecurity, a friend introduced me to a man that changed my life. And that friend was Toy. And Toy was a part of the Abakuas. And from that moment, she introduced me to Mr. James Tompkins. OMG, Mr. Tompkins like took me under his wing. We had many conversations, we talked, and he was like, "Hey, you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I really want to do this." You know, because I really believed in generational wealth. If y'all think about where we came from, trying all businesses, being an entrepreneur, I knew I wanted to help people. I just felt like in network marketing for me at that time, it works for some, but I didn't see it working for everybody. And that bothered me because I wanted everybody to win, right? I wanted everybody to succeed at something and go hard in the paint, right? I really did. Well, Mr. T, he showed us how to build wealth through the stock market. He introduced us to a program designed to help the Black community and thrive. And under his guidance, not only did I just learn, but I began to teach others, y'all. And then at that moment, my life just changed forever. It really did. Then I moved on to the DLTC 1.0. That opened my mind to new possibilities. From there, I researched, studied, and eventually built my own trading system, one that has reached up to maybe 97% accuracy now. So those that have traded with me can see, learn, understand, they know what they're looking for. And thanks to Mr. T, I have been blessed from this day forward. I done seen so much money, some that went in my pocket, some that went out my pocket. And there was a time where I lost everything. I had blew my whole account. And at that point, I was like, man, this is why I was teaching. And at that time, Mr. T was like, hey, you gonna teach or you gonna trade? I had to like pick a thing. But I was able to like grow, teach, and trade all at the same time, thanks to Mr. T, because I tell you, it's been a wonderful journey. And from that point on, I just kept growing. My team kept growing and everything like that. So just in 6 years, this journey transformed my family. My children trade the markets. People I've taught been able to compound their investments, leave their jobs, and live with more freedom. So my mission now is not just about money, but it's about teaching others to live fruitful, spiritual, fulfilling life, to remove the negative and focus on the positive and thrive. So that's why me and my husband continue on this journey. And I'm here today. Much love.
Did we lose what happened?
Sister Crystal,
don't-
if you talking, we can't hear you.
Are you all hearing me now?
Now we can.
Yes.
We can right now.
I had this button off.
Okay, I'm like, I think her mouth is moving, y'all, but
I forgot to press the button.
Welcome
My
back.
apologies. All right. So now you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I am going to ask you a question based on what as you were saying to us. Your testimony is beautiful, the story is beautiful, but I have a special question that has nothing to do with finance. Now you said that
Okay.
your goal was to help people to live basically a righteous life, right? My
Yes.
question to you is this: what do you consider to be spiritual success? How does one know that they're spiritually successful?
Ooh, this is a good one. Let me start by saying this, and I'm glad you asked that question because this is a really big one. And before I begin to answer this question,
Mhm.
let me say this. A friend of mine said to me, don't withhold what you have to say because sometimes you might be put in a position to say things because the right people need to hear it so that they can transform their lives. So before I answer that question, I ask everyone to open their mind, think out of the circumference of where you are, and be open to receive new information so that you can grow, from this point forward. I'll give you a moment. Now I'm going to answer the question. How do people spiritually evolve and know that they have reached that point? My thing is, first, you have to understand where you are right now in this moment in time, spiritually. What do you believe? Is that belief your own? Have you been conditioned to believe that? Are the thoughts and perceptions of others controlling your thoughts and perceptions? Spiritually, have you accepted that you are now growing every minute and every day? Spiritually, for me, my awakening is accepting that everyone is on their own spiritual journey. And it is my task alone to understand where I am so that I personally can be fruitful and fulfilling in a way that I know that God, the universe in itself, and I'm working within. And I would say I won't even say just helping others, but being available to those that need to receive information so that they can grow every day. Does that make sense to what I'm saying?
It does.
So there's no judgment on where someone stands spiritually. It doesn't matter what you believe or how you believe it, but if it works for you, it works for you. But we have to get to a place where we're not judging others on their spiritual journey because we all have different walks, we have different spaces, we have all come up or grown up in a different type of awareness in our lives. So those things cultivate our spiritual journey so that we can actually take that walk alone. And spiritual growth and knowing that you found that place is that you can look at your brother and your sister and you can say, I see where you are. And if you need anything or any information from me from this point, I will give you what you need when you ask, and move on and let
Wow.
people grow on their own.
That's beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely. People are loving that we asked that question because I think it's a question that a lot of people need to ask themselves as they reach to a certain point. How do I know that I am more than just the monetary part? How do I know that I'm not falling off track with the other values that I hold dear? And so that's why I think it's so important for us to always be aware of the fact that there are different types of success. And we should aim to be holistic people. Just like you and I had a conversation before we joined here, and you were telling me about that spiritual relationship that you have with your creator, with creation itself. And I think that in the pursuit of wealth, it's very, very easy to lose sight of that because we live among such a
Yes.
materialistic system. And if we do choose the path of affluence, there's so many distractions that pull us away from our inner nature. So it starts to be just another way to chase the external. And then even if you achieve that finance, there can be a sense of emptiness if you're not nurturing the internal, just like you were telling me. So I think that it's so important for people to hear your view on that. I wanted others to hear what it is that you told me as well. Now we do
Oh,
have.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. I'll be glad to share. And I do see the questions. Okay. So let's go here. With my students, I even share this, and even anybody to have a regular conversation with me. One thing for sure, I know that you probably heard of the trap, right? Y'all probably heard that. And it's like a frequency I noticed that some of us are riding on when we speak of the trap. And I'm going to explain the trap because I explained it to my children the same way. And I'm going to say
Get your
this.
notebooks out, people. I'm going to interrupt Mrs. Kawanna to say, write it down. You don't want to miss this. Okay.
All right. The trap. First, the trap is not necessarily negative. It can be both negative and positive. Okay? It can be. The trap can be both. The trap is a place where nobody asks questions. The trap is a place where questions are not answered. The trap is also a place where answers are not applied. That's the trap. The trap comes to a place where we all have started into, or say we were born from where we are, right? Some of us get caught in the trap because we have either been guided by our parents, friends, neighbors, TV, television, everything you can think about has somehow cultivated our next move or your next walk or your next journey or your next thought, all those things, right? The trap is that place. But sometimes we get caught in a place where we even don't ask questions or we ask questions to the wrong people. That's what I mean by they're not being answered, right? Or we get the answers we need, but we don't want to do it that way. I don't want to do it that way or this way or that way. There's got to be another way. And sometimes the answers are already there for you because there are people in place to help guide you along the way, but you might not want to do it that way. But you're doing it your own way. And guess what? It has not even been done yet. But you got somebody right here that's done it and say, hey, let me hold your hand. Let me show you how to do it. But that answer is not applied because in a lot of people's minds, it's like, there's got to be another way or easier way, or I'm comfortable. I don't want change. I want things to stay the way they are. You know why? Because your answers are not applied. You either didn't ask no questions or your questions were not answered. It's either way. It goes that way. And the trap is like a frequency. And let me share this with you because me and my husband talk about this a lot. The trap is like a frequency. You're either on a good one or you're on a bad one. And what I call good and bad is sometimes bad is a place that you don't like to be a lot. Can I say that? Good is a place you like to be a lot. That's how we like correlate good and bad. Bad is things that we don't want to be all the time. Good is where we want to be most of the time. Kind of like when you think of different entities, let's say heaven and hell, whatever. Same, good, bad, right? Let's just correlate that thing. And I'm going to stop it right there. When we, as people on a frequency, most of us, if not all of us, operate in negative thoughts. Let me go with that first. Most things we talk about, things we think about, conversations we have, things we watch, things we absorb, assumptions, disagreements, frustrations, anger, all those things. Most of the time, people operate in that. If you look at a 24-hour day, we operate in that negativity most of the time, maybe 20 hours a day if we ain't sleeping. Let me tell you why. Because when one good thing happens, you only hold on to that for a few seconds. But when something bad happens, you'll talk about that thing all day, all night, next week, 2 weeks, a whole month. You're still angry about it. You're still frustrated about it. And that one good thing happened. Oh, I'm so happy. And then the next day you wake up, man, I can't believe they did that to me. I can't believe, popping off because we've been conditioned to operate in that. We look for the negative. We look for the problem. We don't look for solutions. We talk about problems. We operate in problems. We operate in thought of negativity. But what I like to say to everybody is this, is that if y'all could switch that, how about operating positivity and only let that negative thing resonate with you for maybe that 1 minute? When it happened for that 5 minutes, don't let it carry on to 30, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, next week, next day. So let me go back to this, to trap. Most people operate in a trap with not even knowing they're there, right? The thought process of where they are. They're riding on that frequency and they get absorbed and their feelings get caught up in a frequency. But you got to understand that most people in the trap, they don't even know they're in the trap, right? So they get caught up on things that were entertaining. It's entertaining for you, but that don't mean it has to be your life. If it's entertaining for you, that don't mean it has to be your walk and your talk. because that becomes your awareness, and you will start living in it over and over again. You get caught in the cycle of life, and you're like, why does this thing keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? Because you're absorbing the trap. You don't recognize you in it. If you're going to go to a frequency, let's just say this, y'all go to the club, that's a frequency. When you go, you know you go. But when you go, you still got to always be aware, right? No matter where you go, when you leave your house, you're in a different frequency. You talk to somebody on the phone, so, give example, a family member. They be like, hey, I heard so-and-so did this. That's a frequency. Listen to the sound. Y'all know what? Yeah, y'all hear that sound? That frequency, a lot of people are addicted to that frequency.
Oh, yes.
And that addiction keeps bringing them back to that sound. And you get caught up like, ooh, that feel good, because you're not used to feeling good for something that's good. Now the negative feel good. You crave that negative and you keep going back to it. You keep searching for it. And you know what? That trap is a place people go all the time. You know why? Because to leave the trap means you got to be alone, and you got to work on yourself, and you got to ask questions, and you got to think, and you got to build, and you got to network. You got to work with people.
Yeah.
You got to think. You got to use a lot of capacity of your brain. You got to heal. You can't just sit here and just accept things for what they are. You got to grow. I don't care where you are. You can have the most fantastic life, but most people in that, they get in the trap. They so much in a trap that it could be like in monetary value, but they're not living. You know what I'm saying? They're not creating that balance in their life. And balance is just understanding where you are and not to get caught up in it. So if an argument happens, don't be offended. That person was just on a whole different frequency. It wasn't even about you. I like to say.
Absolutely. Oof. You have the people on fire in the chat, like literally. All I'm seeing is fire emojis. You all are, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you all are gonna love this one. So, Sister Kawanna, that was fantastic. Thank you about telling people about the trap. When I first heard it, I said, okay, hold on, I have to get some pen and paper. And I did. I got pen and paper and I wrote it down. I still have it right here in my book because it's very much worth remembering. A lot of the times we get into these patterns and we live this lifestyle over and over. And the fact that someone can put them in words so we can realize what's happening to us shakes us up and wakes us up, and we can finally open our eyes to the patterns that keep us stuck. It's so easy to stay stuck.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't even know that we're stuck. We're comfortable in the quicksand.
Comfortable.
We're comfortable in that quicksand, and that feeling of quicksand sucking our limbs down feels like a warm hug to some of us. Some of us, you'd pull you out the quicksand, it's so uncomfortable, they jump right back in because it feels like a warm hug. It feels familiar. It feels warm. It's sticky. It's soft. And we don't realize, hey, we're going down. We're going down with everybody else who's stuck in this quicksand. So somebody has to shout out to us, just like Sister Kawanna. She's like, hey, listen, hey, you're thinking. No, I'm very comfortable. Yeah, but look at yourself. You're going down. So this is so important for people to be able to hear some words to the patterns it is that keep us stuck and keep those that we love stuck as well. And it's not to despair, but just to identify so that we can continue to serve others and so we can move towards our spiritual success, as Sister Kawanna is saying. I have some questions building up in the question and answer section.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so oh yes, we have some questions. So Sister Adrienne Diggs is the first questioner. She is asking, when did you reach the stage in your trading journey where fear no longer held you back? That's a good question.
That is a good question. All right, so let's start with fear is something that is made up. I remember when I first started teaching, that was one of the components that I would actually share about how we make up fear in our mind, because fear comes from either a thought and a perception that came from a long time ago from our parents or our friends or anything we watch on TV, and fear of the unknown, right? So most of the time, fear is what you don't know to come next, or something you made up in your mind that something could happen or foreseeing, but that means that you're creating something negative to happen in your life but you're doing that because you have already been conditioned to do that. So when did I come to the stage is understanding that I'm creating that. Everybody deals with fear every now and then, and I still deal with that. So that is not something that someone like ends. There's not a final destination to that, because I notice that every now and then it's a practice that I have to remind myself that, Kawanna, you cannot be afraid of this. You cannot, what are you afraid of? I have to ask myself that question. And y'all have to ask yourself, what are you afraid of and why? Why are you afraid of it? A lot of times we hold on to fear because we don't want to ask, we don't want to answer it, we don't want to work on us. And you're talking about trading. Trading is only confidence. Most of the time, you're fearful for the lack of confidence. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find out, what am I not confident about? What do I not understand? What do I not know yet to give me enough confidence so that I can make this next move? All right.
That's a good one. Do you think it is that sometimes people could be lacking that knowledge of themselves, which is why they're fearful, like they don't
Facts.
trust themselves?
Facts. Not trusting themselves. Because most of the time people think about failure, right? And not looking at that I'm trying. Just never give up. Y'all, it took me so long. I'm sitting here like how I sat on the computer all day, all night, reading, studying, because I just want to be on top of my A game. I learned from the best, so I knew I couldn't suffer like that. And you know how Mr. T is. He go hard in the paint. He want to make you keep learning, you keep up in the game, so you got to stay on your A game. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
with that alone, you'll learn to always be. It's like playing chess. You got to always stay ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like working on yourself, understanding what you know, what you don't know. Are you putting in enough time in? Are you really giving it all you got? What's holding you back? Who telling you you can't? What are you trying to prove? You have nothing to prove. Who you owe something to? Those kinds of things.
The who's is a big part. A lot of it is people, and we don't realize there are people who are actually causing us issues. There's
Yes.
there's a whole world in discovering yourself. And I think that some people are in the trap that you described about themselves. They're not even asking the
Yes.
questions about themselves.
So,
No one
yes.
is answering the questions about themselves. So if they get an answer, they don't like it.
No, right.
Absolutely. Mrs. Mativa is asking, if you can only pass down one trading principle to the next generation, what would it be? This is a good one. You're asking some great questions.
That's a good one.
It is.
Let me think here, because take profit.
Fair enough. That's a big one, huh? It's two words, but it means so much, especially if you've traded before.
Take profit.
That's life advice right there.
Take profit and keep what you have. Put that together.
Okay. That's life advice right there. It is, and I think that everybody's listening understands what take profit means. I wouldn't add to it. It's impactful all on its own.
Yes, take profit and take what you have. Why I say that is because I've experienced seeing a lot of money. How you let that thing run up. And you know how when y'all first trade, you look and it's running up, you like, ooh, that's a lot. You're not used to seeing that so fast at the time. And then you watch it, then you like, wow. And then all of a sudden that greed kick in, you like, man, let me see if it can give me a 10 more dollars. And then all of a sudden it just dropped down out the sky. And you like, why I ain't take that money? That's because, you know why? It goes back to like trying to fulfill something, trying to pay a bill, but not really thinking that you're truly compounding your life to build your income over time. And let me say this why is because y'all know this principle, but when you think about the bank only paying out a certain percentage on a yearly basis, and you're able to even compound 3% in one trade. And imagine just doing that every day. You do way more than a bank could ever do for yourself. And you can literally build your own bank just by compounding your own interest every single day. But most of the time, we get caught up in the greed of trying to do too much when that is not even necessary. I'm trying to tell you, take your profits every day, and I promise you, y'all gonna see your life change. And I know y'all heard that before, but I'm gonna say it again.
They
Take
need to hear it
profit,
again.
keep what you have.
Take profit and keep what you have. That's the number one.
Patience, patience,
That is
patience, patience, patience. That's enough. I can't just give one, Miss Mativa. I got to give a lot. Take patience. You got to learn to love your life where you are right now so that you can start to grow further. You got to accept now, your beauty now, the wonderful life you have right now. Most people, let me say this, I have to say this. Most people don't take profit because they don't like where they are right now, right? This is a psychological hack. It reminds me back in the quantum physics, because I have someone real close to me that teaches quantum physics. And the thing about that mindset is this, where you are right now shaped you to be who you are right now, and you might like it. And if you don't, that means you're going to change it to make it better, right? So where
right.
you are right now, look around. Everything is great. You living, you breathing. You got another opportunity to try again. You got another opportunity to give thanks, to have gratitude, to love, to experience, to feel, to grow, all those things. You just have this day. That day that's everything. So the moment you know you have everything, so and you able to just get on here so you can eat every day, take it.
Just take the profit. And that
Yes.
patience thing is so, but that patience thing is like taking profit. Yeah, you'll take profit if you have patience.
Yeah, patience. You're gonna get it. It's gonna be there. It's gonna exist. It's gonna be there.
Mhm.
Y'all in the right place.
Yes, they are. I hope that they know that. And I hope that they continue to believe that even as probationary trading starts and those nerves kick in.
But they in the right place.
Yeah. I don't think there should be any other place other than here. Because in all honesty, if they don't have people who have been there helping them, then I could see a lot of them falling off the wagon. So just experienced people, just like Mrs. Kawanna is saying, she is a DLTC stalwart. Just listen to what she's saying. Take her word for it. She knows. We all know. But Mrs. Kawanna, she knows. She teaches also, so she knows. Right. So Mr. Sunita is saying, good evening. What advice will you give to a student who has never traded before? That's a good one, right? These questions are amazing.
Man. Oh man, okay. If you have never ever traded before, this is like a mouthful right here. Okay, let me keep it short. If you never traded before, my biggest advice to you would be this. Come into this field willing to learn. Come into this field willing to accept a new skill set. Be willing to give it all you got. When you start, never give up. My dad would always say it to me, never give up, never give up, never quit. Never quit. Mr. T said that too, never quit. He's so right. I wanted to quit so many times. Never quit. I'm gonna tell y'all, never quit. Give it all you got. Make sure you do your reading and research. I know people tell you don't have to, but I'm gonna tell you, do it anyway. Okay? That's confidence. You need that. You deserve it. And be patient. Anybody new to trading, I would say the same thing as I said before. Examine where you are. Know where you at. And I advise therapy.
That's a good advice.
I advise therapy because most people get into trading, don't want to work on themselves. And I have found, even in teaching, they all quit. They quit because they're not willing to work on themselves. And therapy is definitely advisable, so that you can have someone to talk to. Because with all the distractions, you need might need somebody to help you set boundaries. You might need someone to help you set a schedule. You might have to break certain habits. You have to talk these things out. Questions have to be answered to you so you can start to process. Because if you've never done it before, you don't know the questions to ask yourself. So therapy is very good. I even went through my life coaching session where I'm a life coach now. But I just want to tell y'all, please do your therapy. Find somebody, find a professional that can really help you through it. And then y'all have coaches around y'all to even help get yourselves together to help you even promote that process. So you can go back and talk to your therapist about what you learned. And so that y'all can come up with new solutions to help you process new things to get that mind rolling, to open up so your energy can start flowing and you can ride the right frequency that you enjoy and not one you don't enjoy.
I like that.
Okay.
You could choose to be somewhere you want to be, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
These are some great questions. I'm just scrolling through the questions. Mrs. Mativa is asking, if you had to start over today with only 500, what would you do differently?
Go slow. I'll go slow. I'll go slow, man. I would go out one trade a day. Sorry. I'm sorry. I would literally do one trade a day.
Wow. So
I
you
started with that
slow
number. I
down.
started with that number and ended up with zero.
How did you
I
how
did.
what happened on that day? Did it go all the way in one day, or was it a series of decisions
Okay.
over a period of time?
There were
How,
multiple times. There were multiple times. One
wow.
time it went in all, yeah, one time it went in all one day. Okay. Because, we learn it and you're new to this thing and you don't really have, that somebody telling you, look, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying at that time. So I'm like, I would run up numbers because I'm learning. One was learning. So I paid for that tuition. Let me say that. I paid for that tuition. The second time was disobedience, not being disciplined, not having the full strategy in place. Also, not listening. Okay. Be honest, not listening, wanting to do things my own way, wanted to reinvent the wheel when it was already set. Right. Um, all those things steered me up and down like that, causing me to fluctuate. Even with money, the thing about that was not taking profit. I would see like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. I promise y'all, oh my God. And I would take I had say a $6,000 profit and then let it go to 2,000 because you're trying to edge it. Greed, y'all. Greed is what will throw you away. So I would say with $500, one trade a day, accept the profit, move on, live to trade another day. Just do that. Just do that.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. That is big. One trade a day.
One trade a day.
One
Don't
trade.
do too much. Yeah, one trade a day, walk away, come back, do it again the next day.
My goodness.
Mhm.
There's another one here. Irene Glenn is saying, I think that we all fall into the traps of life. When did you find yourself in that trap and what did you do to get out? These are some good
Uh,
questions. They are helping me
that's a
tonight.
good one.
I could just
Yeah.
relax and let you all ask the questions.
Hey, I've been in plenty traps, Miss Glenn. Plenty traps throughout my life. So let's talk about it real quick. First trap I was in I call it the Black Matrix. I was all about that life, man. Yeah, if y'all don't know what it is, let me describe. I called it Black politics. I was like, man, I was rooting hard, ready to go. I want to burn some things down. I want to go march and stomp on some buildings and stuff like that, that that part. And it's okay to be passionate, but then what I realized is that I wasn't really helping nobody. You feel me? I was only rah-rah in the group me, but I'm like, well, how can I really help somebody? The way you help people is help them change their lives in a way that help them feed their families, help them think, grow, mature, advance, but
Right.
not just be trying to burn some stuff down just because I'm angry and upset, you know. And that trap was my emotions. Was shattered due to me not understanding that I was stuck in the awareness that I was only in, and I was not coming outside that awareness because I wasn't even learning anything. I kept just getting taught the same old thing over and over again. In order for me to break out of there, I had to go step out like, wait, what am I doing? But that comes with me asking questions. What am I doing? So I was a question asker. I wasn't sitting there just letting somebody tell me what to do. I always broke rules, y'all. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I tell my students it too. I know when to break rules, and sometimes you gotta break rules. This group, I had to break this rule, and that rule was you got to get out. Y'all know, y'all seen that movie Get Out. That come in different forms. So I had to get out that trap. Got out of that trap. That's when I got into business. But you can get into the business of that trap. I got caught in that trap, thinking that I was gonna keep trying, keep trying. You ain't doing it right. You ain't talking to a lot of people. And it started coming into that. And I'm like, dang, I ain't even helping nobody. I'm trying to recruit people. And then it was about me making money, but not really helping them. That's a whole trap. That ain't gonna work. Had to come up out of that. And then I'm like, yeah, I was gonna be a preacher too. Got caught in that, though, getting caught in that trap. For some, not to offend, but I'm talking about my own journey, okay? Almost got caught in that trap because then I would have been stuck there. I would have probably been singing, on tour, those kind of things. Ain't not wrong with that. But then I can see myself being stuck there and I wouldn't even be where I am today, where I can talk and talk freely, right? And
Right.
be in freedom. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, this freedom I have, I can't even explain it. It has nothing to do with any or nobody. It is my own lane. And I don't have to be conjured this way or conjured that way, feel this way, think that way, think that way. You know why? Because it goes back to that. I know they all on that frequency. And I now am aware the difference. Don't you get caught up in that. And let me say this, y'all, today. I almost got caught in the trap today. Matter of fact, I was in it for a few seconds. I was going to the grocery store with my husband, went to the grocery store, and I said something about being fearful or something like that. And he said, hold up, wait a minute. I was like, I looked, I looked at him, I said, you know what, you're right, I'm making that up. He said, you sure? I said, let me get myself up out of that trap. Because he and I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, let me get up out of that. And I used to get so offended, and this is even recently. You know how people say things to you, like it hurt my feelings. Well, guess what, y'all? They in the trap. I ain't about to be offended by them no more. So yeah, I recognize it sometimes. Sometimes you got to have friends tell you like, you need to come up out of that. You gotta come up out of that.
That's true.
And now you gotta be unapologetic. Like, I ain't doing that. I don't want to gossip. I don't want to talk to you today. And I be feeling like that. I don't want to gossip today.
That
I
makes
want to
sense.
go in that trap today. I don't feel like it. Now, if I feel like it, we'll go gossip that day, but I don't gossip that day. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just being honest. I
I,
get to pick what I want to do.
mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. How does somebody know that they're free?
Ooh.
I had to stick one in there. Everybody else trying to do my job tonight. I had to ask the question too, you know.
The moment you realize you can think for yourself. Uh, freedom is not, it's thinking for yourself in so many ways. Once you recognize most of the time your thoughts and your perceptions come from others, and you recognize that, and you understand that if you're which way are you being steered to? Are you aware you're being steered? Are you aware you're being controlled?
Big one.
Are you are you are you aware you're being controlled? Do you know exactly what you're doing? Because I know a lot of people like, yeah, I'm free. Don't nobody tell me what to do, but they might clock in every day. in their
Oh,
job.
mm,
Somebody say, I'm free, I do what I want to do. But did you spiritually choose your walk? Or was it chosen for you?
that's a good point. That's a good point.
You know? Uh, are you going to college? Is it because your parents told you to? Or are you doing it because you want to? Did you choose that degree or whatever because you want to, because it's going to be something you want to experience? Or was it because somebody told you need to experience it?
Yeah.
When is the moment that you are aware of what is being chosen for you, or are you choosing it for yourself? And that's what I call the red pill, the blue pill. Red
Right.
pill, blue pill. Are you choosing it for yourself, or has it been chosen for you?
Absolutely.
Some things are chosen for you, some things you choose for yourself, but are you aware of it? Are you making the decision, or is the decision made for you? Some stuff is, some stuff isn't. And when people can recognize the difference between what they control and what they can't control, that's freedom.
Oh, oh, that's a big one. I hope you're all writing that down, huh? Can somebody, right, be free and choose to operate in a frequency that is what you call bad, somewhere they don't want to be? For example, somebody says, okay, I'm consciously choosing to work this job because it is a means to an end. I don't necessarily want to be here, but I choose to be here. Or is that some other unconscious enslavement? What is the difference? How does somebody know that can somebody be free in a place that they're not happy or they don't like? If my question makes any sense.
Yep, if they're aware of it. Are you using it as a tool?
Mhm.
Is it a tool that you're using to help you get from point A to point B?
Right.
Or are you doing it because you just don't know what point A and point B is? Do you have a goal? Are you
Okay.
going somewhere? Do you know where you're going? Or are you just doing? Are you just existing?
Fair
Or
enough.
are you living? It just comes down to that. Are you living or are you existing? Do you know what you're doing and why you're doing it? This frequency that you're on is because if you are on a frequency right now, it's because that's what you've been doing. But
Mhm.
now that you become aware of what you're doing, now what are you going to do with it? Are
Right.
you now you know, okay, I have a job. I didn't
Mhm.
ask to be in slavery. This is not what I want. Okay. Switch your mindset first. Say you're free. Acknowledge you're free. Understand freedom is I now understand what I have control of and what I don't.
Mhm.
Now, what you gonna do with it?
That's a good question.
And then you can decide. That's the frequency you choose. I'm
Mhm.
choosing to ride on the frequency of now I know what I can control and what I can't, I won't worry about. But what I can, I will. So now I know this job is a tool. I'm gonna do things to change it because I don't want to, I want my time back. So you want your time back so that you can use all the time you want, when you want, how you want to do it. But listen to me, and I'm gonna be fair. And this is just my opinion. Not all people gonna be free.
Understood.
Some people can't be, or the world won't work. The system won't work. It just won't. Think about it. And it's not even funny, but it's true. Think about nature. Think about all of that. Nature, not just humans. Human humans have their own dynamic of things. Ants have their own dynamic of things. Bees have their own dynamic of things. Trees have their own dynamic of things. I'll give you an example. Two trees will grow in the same spot, but one tree might choke out the other tree because it don't need it in this spot. Am I right?
True. It is true.
Okay.
You're right. You're right.
Same thing with animals. Same thing with people. So overall, that's just the way the anatomy of the whole world is. I've seen a crow even swoop up a squirrel. And I'm like, he was just so innocent sitting there by himself. So you know what I'm saying? But what I saw was, wow, I don't think humans are ready to accept they also are part of the ecosystem. So the only thing you can change is what you can change and just be aware of your surroundings. But outside of that, you got to live and be aware of the frequency you're on. That's it.
That's big. That's big. I hope you all are enjoying Sister Kawanna's very, very insightful answers to your very, very good questions. I had to stick my two questions in there. Look at all those hearts. They're having the time of their lives. Now, I want to allow you all to speak to Sister Kawanna. If you all have a question, I think Sister Jera is here. Are you here, Sister Jera?
Yes, I'm here. You're ready to open up the
Yes, I
mics?
am ready to open up the voice questions. So,
Okay.
guys, you all, if you want to send your greetings to Mrs. Kawanna, if you are inspired and you want to talk to her in your voice, just feel free to do so. All right. Put your hand up and I will or give you all the chance to be unmuted. I think everybody can unmute themselves now, or you will eventually be able to. So if you all have any questions, just put your hand up so there's some order, and then you all can talk to Mrs. Kawanna. In the meantime, we'll go through those written questions while people are getting ready to speak to you and send their greetings. I have
All
a good
right.
from Mrs. Sunita. She says, what's your biggest challenge in your journey to becoming a master trader? Good question. What is your
What's my
biggest challenge, in your journey to becoming a master trader? Oh, when you close your eyes and you lean back, I know this is the
mm-hmm. You
yes.
know, it's gonna
I
if I
recognize
had
the
to
pattern.
process, I'm like, right, okay.
Yeah, you're gathering
Woo!
up the
Biggest
energy.
challenge.
The wisdom is coming up. You're ready. I see the
Mm.
pattern.
Accepting that I'm good.
Ooh. Let me hear it
I
again.
had to, I had to stop doubting myself, man. That
Oh,
was my biggest challenge, man. Uh, yeah. My grandma always said, you need to stop getting to the back of the line, girl. You great. You need to stand in front. I'm like, I was always shy, right? Like, oh. And I'm for real. And I noticed how that trickled all over into my life. And I realized, you good, girl. You might as well just go ahead and just be good. And I had the right people in my corner. Let me say this. I had the like perfect women and men in my corner to say, you good. Go ahead and
are
own it.
her. You are her.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
you are.
hurt. Yeah, I said I'm hurt. So I had to come
Ah,
into that. That was the challenge because I was doubting, like, and I'm like, how can you doubt yourself? You see this. And I'm like, yeah, you know how you want to,
yeah.
you know, yeah, that's the challenge, believing in myself.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's beautiful. My ears are standing up on end because you said a word. You said a word. Oh, Sister Joanne, you have your hand up. Hi. Are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I am. Thank you so
Hello.
much. As always, thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Welcome.
My question was, I wrote it in the Q&A, but I thought, I'll come and speak. Was you had said there were many times you wanted to give up, and I wanted to ask an example of maybe one time you wanted to give up. What was that about, and how did you, in fact, keep going?
Uh, blowing up my account. Blowing up my account made me want to quit because I felt like I couldn't overcome the challenges of taking profits. I would see like, say I'll take $150 premium and might see three, four, $500. I wouldn't take it. I see it, I run it up. So I was dealing with greed and I was trying to figure out why. Why am I dealing with greed? What is it? What am I trying to accomplish and do? And I just could not shake that. And then the very first time is I lost some $20,000. And it took me a long time to get myself back because I was just trying to get the get back. I'm gonna get that back. I'm gonna get that back. But I realized that ain't no get back. That's not how that works.
Oh,
And you have to understand that Either you're gonna learn and listen, or you're gonna keep back in the trap, right? Go back in the trap. You're gonna stay in the trap and you ain't gonna get out. But that's what made me want to quit because I kept wanting to do it my way. But then I had to pause and say, it's not your way. Do it the right way. Just do it. And that made me want to quit. And then I'm a teacher too. So teaching make you want to quit sometimes too, because
Ooh.
when you giving all you got and sometimes people don't see the value of what you're giving, or because you're trying to help, when you're in that place of helping. But then I've learned from the best that, don't sop that up with a biscuit. It is what it is in that manner, because as long as I'm helping one person, I'm doing a wonderful thing. And I'll thank you, Mr. Tompkins, for that, because I promise you, you are one of the big reasons why I didn't quit. Yes. So I understand.
That's something else.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's wonderful for us to have examples of success in our community and not just caricatures of failure or struggle. We have enough struggle stories in our culture. It is time for us to start seeing people operating in their power and being powerful so that we can emulate that and become and be powerful ourselves so that someone else can emulate us. We are being watched all the time, so we may as well put on a good show. So when I heard what you said, sop it up with a biscuit, you're right about that. You're right about that. You spoke the truth. Sister Joanne, do you have any more questions for Mrs. Kawanna?
Oh no, that was rich.
Yes, it was, right?
Thank you.
All of this session is thick like gravy. It goes down slow. You have to digest it, and you have to digest it again. I hope that you all will watch the replay. We will be sending you all the replay via email soon after this session. Now, I see some more hands and I see some more questions, but let me answer some hands. Sister Dara Murray, I hope that you're a sister and not a brother. My apologies.
No,
if you
you're correct. I'm
are.
a
Good.
girl.
Hi, Sister Dara. Thanks for coming through tonight.
Thank you for having me, and thank you, everybody here for organizing this and giving us a chance to get some wisdom. My question was, you spoke about blowing up your account before. My issue with that is like, it takes a while to even build the confidence to get there. How did you continue to build confidence after that? And was that part of like your therapy that you were doing that helped you like rebuild, or grow your confidence at that point? Because I think that's an issue for a lot of people, is having that confidence or continuing to grow it even after a failure.
Yes, that's a good question. Yes, during that process, it was therapy for me to even get through it. It was a fight because at that moment, you try to blame everything, everyone, anyone around you, for that failure, right? And I won't even call it a failure, but that learner, right? So it was a learner, and the learner was I had to accept what it was that I was doing. The thing about that frustrated me the most was you always learning with trading. This is the thing that everybody has to take heed. You're gonna always be learning. You are human, therefore humans have certain errors they make every now and then. And sometimes the market gives you what it gives you, right? And you got to be on point. But building that, let me say this, after losing that, starting over was a struggle for me. It was. And I'm like, okay, Kawanna, you've seen that, you built that, you could do it again. So because I did it, I knew I could do it again. But this time I was like, okay, you got to just take your time and take your profit so that you can start building and seeing a lot more. And you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor in that manner. Because if you don't, then you're like, oh, I'm never gonna get this. And most time you feel that again, because either you ain't asking questions, don't know, you're not doing no more research, you just like keep doing the same thing, thinking you got enough, when really it might be required. You might have to read something else. It might be required you have to watch another video. It might be required you have to do all those things. Because even now, I'm still learning as a trader. Because y'all gotta understand, it's always changing and evolving. The cheese is always moving, so you got to be ready. So what happens is I'm learning that because change is constantly happening, I have to accept the change as it comes. That's one thing I had to learn in the market, because that was one of them, that the market was fluctuating and my trading style had to change according to the market changing. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So it was certain things I had to do a little differently, because the market might move in a channel, or the market is volatile or something like that. And I had to change my strategy, but I was getting ate alive because I wasn't prepared for the fluctuations. You know, sometimes you in your mind, you thinking, well, the market go up, it go down. You don't think it's going to go sideways or go up slow or go down slow, how that's going to affect your trading style. Or the premiums might not move the day it did yesterday. So all those things come into mind when you think about trading. So just that alone, yes, that is definitely therapy within itself, to ask yourself some deep-rooted questions. What is going on with me? And one of the things I always ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why do I feel this way? You know what I'm saying? What's the root of it? Where is it coming from? Where did it stem from?
Right.
You know, what issues do I have? Am I greedy? Is my ego in the way? Because I'm talking about what I think and not about what I know. All those kinds of things. So I hope that helped.
I hope it did, sister. That was an excellent answer, Sister Kawanna. I hope that answered your question, my dear, who recently asked that question.
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yes.
pleasure, Dara. So it sounds to me like what you're saying is it's a combination between the flexibility and the preparation. One can't work well without the other.
Yes. You just got to be flexible, and you got to be patient.
Mhm.
And you got to be patient with yourself.
True.
And you got to give yourself so much grace. And you have to say, you know what? I'm doing the best I can, only if it is the best you can. Don't say you're doing the best you can. You ain't doing the best you can, because that I hear a lot too. I'm giving all I got. I'm like, no, you're not. You already know. You already know. You know what I'm saying? You can
Yeah.
ask a question, and I'm like, well, what is this? And if you're an instructor and you went over something and somebody say, well, I'm doing this, you're like, well, I know you didn't watch video 1, 2, 3, because it's all in there. Stuff
Mm,
like that. You
yeah.
know.
Absolutely.
Take no prisoners.
Take-
It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know.
You're right. You're right. I think we have another question from Brother
Yes.
Calvin Michael. You have a written question and your hand was also up. Would you like to speak, Mr. Calvin?
Hey, what's up? Yeah,
Hello.
I had a
Hey.
thank you also too. I want to say good evening to her for even doing this. I want to say thank you. I'm grateful for the Freedom Series. What
Oh,
I
pleasure.
want to ask you is this: as a DLTC trader, what do you feel is the embodiment of being a DLTC trader? Like, what will it take? What qualifies for you to be a DLTC trader? Is it integrity, character? What are the qualities you feel it takes to be a DLTC trader? And how do you deal with stress as being a DLTC trader?
Okay. I would say, as a DLTC trader, and for all the new people on here and those that are already DLTC traders, one thing is this. You did mention character. That is definitely one. Okay. Character is always one. And you want to conduct your trades, your relationships, your network with integrity. You want to be honest and true, even to yourself, because there's no reason not to be. You know what I'm trying to say? There's no reason not to be. Authenticity. Um, I would say practice. Work on yourself, work on your mind, work on your spirit, work on your heart, and stress. Stress is related to fear. Okay. They relate. They're cousins. Uh, Most of the time we get stressed either for overstimulation or that fear. Overstimulation could be fear that I'm gonna lose some money, right? Some people don't like to lose. And then you have to ask yourself why. You know what I'm saying? What am I afraid to lose? Why am I afraid to lose this? Am I attached to it? What does it mean to you? And why does it mean that much to you? You understand what I'm saying? So that will pull that stress away. And stress will also come away when you become even more confident in what you're doing. Making sure you asking questions so you understand what you're doing. Don't just don't float. Do not float. Ask them serious questions. And even if somebody answered it a long time ago, or just because somebody else knew it, that don't mean you know it now. I have so many different students that know things at different times, and maybe they heard it a long time ago, but they just now picking it up today. See what I'm saying? That stress right there, alleviate that by just asking more questions, taking your time, taking deep breaths. I saw what you said, you meditate. Taking deep breaths before you trade, get a better routine. You know what I'm saying? You want to find a really good routine for yourself, where you sticking to it. And if you feel like you deviating off that routine, that'll raise your stress levels. That means don't trade that day. Every day don't have to be traded, y'all. It don't, because you want to make sure you're paying attention to yourself and you're paying attention to the markets. Is this your market? Is this your trade style? Can you do it? Is it the right time? What you got going on? Did you argue last night? Do you feel good? Are you tired? Did you eat? Did you have your coffee? All those things can throw you off. So get you a little routine that you stick to that alleviate your stress. That way you're operating it's like a space of discipline. Y'all ever know anybody in the military? My dad was in the military, and they do things certain way, right? All the time. That right there alleviates your stress. The only thing that causes stress when the parameters change. So you got to make sure you operating in a certain amount of parameters. When the parameters change, don't trade. You won't have no stress.
Thank you.
Yes. Absolutely.
You on mute, Sister Krista.
I'm getting old. I gotta stay sharp. It's thick like gravy. That's what I was trying to say. It's thick like gravy. The nurturing and the value and the quality of this discussion, it's you can't compare it to anything else. I'm having a great time. I hope you all are having a great time here in the chat. This was so wonderful. It's a pleasure to have you on. We have some
Thank you.
good questions coming up here. Akina
Okay.
is asking 2 questions. Well, the
Okay.
first one, okay, she's talking trading. It's true, we haven't really touched on trading itself, like the mechanics of it. She's asking, what do you trade? And from probationary trading to today, what has trading taught you the most about yourself? So you have a practical and a philosophical. So
Okay.
let's start with the first one. What do you trade?
All right. I trade SPX. I trade Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, SPY, INTC, Google, Netflix, all of them, pretty much.
All of them.
All of
Options
them.
or hard trading?
I'm all of them, but I mainly do options. All of them. I really do all. So let's just talk options. But I do futures, forex, all of them. I do all. But I do all of them really. But my favorite is SPX. I normally stick with Tesla and SPX. I definitely master SPX. I love it because of the movement I get. I can be in there in no time and give me what I'm looking for based on my trading style, and I can just just go in, capture what you're gonna capture, and call it a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, from probationary trading to today, what has trading taught me the most about myself?
Yes. That's a good one.
That is a good. I like high risk, high rewards.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
I
you
like
know
to
that
take
for
things
sure.
to the edge. Yeah, I like to take things to the edge. I'm risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are more risk averse than they think they are, and there are some people who think they're risk averse and they're not.
Right. No, exactly. I'll take it to the edge. I take it all the way.
All the way to the end
Yeah.
of the line.
All the way to the end of the line. Then be like, all right, come on back. Yeah.
That's awesome. She has another question too. She said, you mentioned that you tried many things over the years to free yourself and your family. But what was it about Mr. T and the DLTC that was different for you? And did you do the mastermind? Akina, that's a great question because I know Mrs. Kawanna was in the mastermind. She was speaking in the mastermind. So I could answer that part. But yeah, what was it about Mr. T and the DLTC that was different for you?
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. This is gonna be good. I think this is saucy. All right. Then that I traded, I tried, not traded. I tried different things. Here's the thing. Here's the kicker. When my dad dropped those breadcrumbs, which y'all don't know that I didn't mention, he had passed in 2015. And after that, my husband and I were like, man, I'm gonna do, because my dad had his portfolio and stuff like that. I didn't really know now. I knew a little bit, No, like, what I'm gonna do, man. So when my closest friend told me about Mr. T, she's like, hey, you need to look around. He'll get you right. This kind of thing, because she knew about my dad and how we invest, she knew about that. And I'm like, okay. Well, Mr. T popped in, not like a dad, because we ain't that far in age, but it was the fact that he and I resonated on the same frequency in a different space. But the fact that I shared his vision, let me say that. And not everybody share your vision, okay? But he and I shared a vision, and that vision was I always wanted to help people, and I wanted to help them change their income. I wanted to help add to them because that's the place I was in at that time anyway.
Right.
I wanted to see people really thrive financially. I did because I saw that people suffer financially a lot. And because they don't have the answers or they're suffering, or like, what can I do? I know I can do something. And I knew I had a vehicle. I was like, oh my God. And so Mr. T at that point was like, I don't know. He was like my angel. Let me just say that. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Don't cry, Mr. T, but she was my angel. From that point, it was like heaven sent. The ancestors say, hey, I got something for you. Like my dad did a placement. I got one for you. He was in the military. He a little hardcore. You might want to beat him up sometime. Me and my dad used to wrestle up sometime, but he's like, he gonna kind of remind you of me a little bit. Gonna rough your little fellas, like aggravate. All that. That's what reminds me of that. And so he's like my little angel. Like, wow. And so from that point, it just blossomed from there, And DLTC was like, I'll say the cornerstone of my move, because in that time I was still researching and developing. I was trying to find my way, you know what I'm saying? And when I learned with the DLTC, I learned like things that I tell y'all that captivated me was Mr. T was so strong on that MACD. And then he was strong. His son, Jamie, he was strong on the ADX, but he was doing it over a month's time. Now I was working with my other system that I have, but I combined that with my system to help me find the precise entry and exit within a certain period of time frame. And when I ended up doing that, learning from the DLTC, that right there, I broke down the time frame. I used to stare at the computer like this, staring at that ADL like, oh, that's what it's doing. Open, close, open, close. Oh, it was doing that. And I was like, and y'all, I repatterned so well. So I start adding it to what I had and start pulling it all together. I was like, oh, and then I start adding it, up. And then Jamie gave the moving averages. I said, So I started moving that, boom, 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 put stuff together, And then all of a sudden, boom, I was able to create a system out of it. So yeah, changed my life and my family and many, many others, because I was able to create a system that give people a whole lot of money. And if I can, everybody know that, because that's where I was with DLTC, with the family. and I'm getting these high percents. And I'm like, man, I want everybody else to get them too. So that's
Right.
where it stemmed from. Did
Right.
I do the mastermind? Yeah, I believe in the mastermind. Where I'm at, my team uh created a whole healing community with that. Mr. T, thank you. I'm telling y'all, he's such a blessing to me. And where it's able to help people through that journey, because I told him I wanted to do therapy. I want to be a therapist, but I ended up doing life coaching. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna do all this. Then I gravitated all that because the mastermind just cultivated a whole new thing, just
I
ignited
noticed a
me
theme.
and turned me into a rocket.
Yeah.
Boom, take
I
off.
noticed a theme about healing. You were like a nurse, and then there was
Yes.
a lot going on. There's a
Naturopathic medicine.
yeah,
Naturopathic medicine.
medicine, and then it comes to a theme where I'm hearing that you are seeking to protect, serve, take care of others. So I want to ask you a quick question. Is there somebody in your life that inspired you to be this way? Is that something unique to you, or do you have a theme like that running through your family?
This is a good one.
Yeah. Because I know that sometimes people do, like, for example, they have an uncle or an aunt or parent who had that bent about them, and you just grow up loving them so much that you see what they're doing for the world is something you want to do as well. So I'm wondering if that influence has come from someone close to you, someone you've been nurtured by, and
Yes.
like, where does it come from, that inspiration to take care of other people?
There's two people, well, there's a lot of people in my life, to be honest. A lot of people in my life, to be honest. I'm gonna first start with my mother. My mother is a giver.
Mm.
She likes to give and make you smile, make you happy. Okay. She's one of those. My father was a spiritual healer. He
Right.
liked to make sure you understood where you are in this place in life and to make sure that you're able to go forward and be okay. He would always sit by my bed and talk to me. Um, and y'all, I'm gonna tell you, that was the most beautiful thing I ever experienced in my life. The best relationship with my father. The next was my aunt, my dad's sister, one of his younger sisters. She had a special gift where she could hug you and then you just pass out, right? Uh, but the way she hugged you, she would give you so much energy to like where you could actually perform and move and go. So happenstance, I got that same gift now. So those who meet me, I'll hug them and then I'll give them this healing energy that they get to receive now. So now I know what that's about. I didn't know at the time, but now I know why I was passing out. So I understand, I understand why I was. She was teaching me. So that was one. Um, and my husband helped me through this whole journey too. Yes. My husband was the one who gave me the okay to go ahead and just learn, grow. And he didn't hold me back because sometimes you can have a partner that don't push you to even be your best self. Does
I was
that
going to
make
ask you about
sense?
that.
Yes. Yes. And he teaches and coaches me to be my best self. I promise y'all that. OMG. I couldn't do this without him. Um, at all. At all. Y'all, when I tell y'all the support from him believing in me, investing in me, uh, trusting in me, all those things, and now we're able to be where we are today, I give so much thanks. And I thank God for just putting him in my life because y'all have no idea. I love that man. Because it's my friend. You know what I'm saying? We journey through this life together, experience life together, we're growing together, healing together, trade together. That's a beautiful thing. Don't compare, y'all. If y'all got a spouse that don't trade, it's okay. It's okay. There's no comparison. Okay. It's not. It's just that everybody have their own dynamic, but that's just our dynamic. And I've been able to just, do that. And I love him for that. Thank you, honey.
Oh, I hope he's listening. Or he gonna see the replay if he's not listening. So
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
this is beautiful. Thank you for the loves, the love
Yeah.
energy. It's healing. and it's
Yes.
very family oriented. I see one hand up, and then I'm going to interrupt the question stream to do something special because they asked for this in the last Freedom series and I didn't do it, so I'm going to do it. But let's get the question from Eliana Wright.
Hi,
Hi.
good evening.
Good evening,
Good
madam.
evening.
I'm a little bit shy, but I appreciate you and I appreciate everything you've been talking about. So I actually completed the mastermind. I'm
Yay.
redoing it again,
Congrats.
a lot slower this time. But I guess I wanted to hear more because it was quite emotional, and I was really in my feelings with Mr. T. I was like, why would he do something like this? And I need therapy now, and all this and all. And I cried and
Yes.
cried, and I was in my feelings. In March, March 2024, do that one very slow because that hit hard. I guess I wanted to ask you, as far as the therapy behind that more when you mentioned it.
Like as far as having the therapy, doing the work, doing the healing work per
Yes,
se.
yes, exactly.
Okay. Ooh, that's a big one. Let's just say this. The mastermind opened that up for me. And that's late, y'all. That didn't start early. That was late. Can I say that? 2023. After doing 2023, I'm like, I need therapy. I'm for real, y'all. Because I was like listening to everybody else's stories and it triggered me in so many ways because I was like, wait,
Ooh.
I was really triggered by a lot of things. And the triggering came from uh growing up, seeing things cultivating my life, my experiences, recognizing that all those things were holding me back from propelling forward, not wanting to create new products and systems, not wanting to teach or help. Also, as a mother, making sure that I am not just being selfish, but making sure my children are healing in this process. I had to apologize to my kids, apologize to my husband, stop uh I had to learn how not to compare uh, my husband to any thought-provoking process that I've gained from watching television, the movies, this movie I have in my head, to all those things. I had to learn to stop doing it so that I can love him where he is and for what he's able to do and capable of doing, because that's what I married, you know. I didn't marry that man on TV. I didn't marry Idris Elba or some other folk. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I didn't
I
marry
know what you
guys.
said.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, them ain't even real. These are like thought-provoking ideas that people conjure up in their mind, hoping they can have a love like that. And it ain't even a real emotion or a real feeling. So just with those things alone, I had to do I get therapy, y'all. It's like I got to like work on myself. Why am I angry? Why do I let why do I care so much? That's another thing. What why can't I take this profit? Or why do I want to quit? Who am I trying to prove something to? You know, why am I trying to rush through these trades, trying to make billions of dollars by tomorrow? What am I doing that for? All those things. And you know, from the mastermind to that, I was like, I need therapy for real. So I can deal with those triggers. What's triggering me? But then I remember I was saying it's back to that frequency. When I didn't recognize that these are different frequencies, it's almost like time traveling uh, with therapy. Because you could go back in time and sometimes you get stuck there. You're angry because your mama said something or your daddy said something or somebody did something and you stuck there and you can't leave that dimension. And
That's
then
a
you
good
come
one.
up to a new, you know what I'm saying? You come to a new dimension. This dimension, you happy, but then you tomorrow you go back in time again. And then now you affected by it because somebody triggered it. They only triggered it because you didn't deal with it then. You got to start dealing with all those things. If it triggered you in that moment, I mean, it's time to work on it. Ask yourself, okay, what is this? And why am I triggered? So those things and therapy and mastermind, man, all that goes together. I'm trying to tell you, if
That's
y'all
very
gonna trade, y'all need it.
That's big. It's almost like trading has pushed you, that reality of trading has kind of forced you to meet yourself.
Yes, know thyself, my friend. Y'all hear that tone? Know
Yeah.
thyself.
Mm.
Knowing thyself means know what you like, what you don't like, how you feel, how you don't feel, what work, what don't work, what you accept, what you don't accept, but why you don't accept it, why you don't want it. Sometimes we don't want something because somebody else said we didn't want it. You might say, I don't need it because somebody else said you don't need it. That's when we lose out on opportunities and things like that too. So
That's
it's just like you know what I'm saying? All those things. It comes
And I
back to
remember you
that.
said just now that was a big one, and I want them to hear it again. When you said that part where you won't take profit because you're not happy where you are in life.
Yes.
And it's very true. So it's almost like a reintroduction to yourself as a trader when you are starting to move money as an independent person. You're not no longer trading your time for money. It's only then that you could get to really realize, figure out who you really are. You
Mm-hmm.
are so right. Now I know that you all have more questions, but I'm going to pause it because last time we didn't do this. This time we're going to do this. Y'all, I'm bringing out the box. See this? Y'all see this, right? You all remember this from the last Freedom series? This is Mrs. Kawanna. This is a box that I didn't tell you about. It's a surprise, right?
Okay. Okay.
So this is called the Airbook Conversational Card Deck. We're releasing
Okay.
it this fall for the public. However, we do have one special edition for the Freedom series. And we pull cards from this box. There are 366 cards in here. One conversation for every day of the year, right? And from the box, we're going to pull out some cards, and I'm going to ask you a question that is on one of those cards. So it's just a little game, right? I'm going to pull out some cards now. I'm going to get a few. See these cards here? I'm going to get a few, and I'm going to hold them out on the screen, and I want you to choose one. So they are questions, conversation starters that are just like the great questions that everybody was asking tonight, but it can go very deep. And I think that you're the perfect person to answer one of these questions. You seen my cards?
Yeah.
You seen them right there, right? One, two, they have different themes, and I want you to choose one at random. So we have this is my right, this is probably your
Mm-hmm.
left, and it
Mm-hmm.
goes all the way to your right. So do you want to choose any of these cards? I'll put my finger and you'll tell me when to stop, okay? So there's this one, two,
Stop.
two. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. All right. So the question I have is, what financial comfort zone have you outgrown but are at risk of clinging to? What financial comfort zone have you outgrown but you are at risk of clinging to? That is a great question. Do you have one? Oh, she leaned back. She leaned back, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to put this question right up here so you can see it and think about it while you
Yeah,
fall.
let me think. Let me think about it. Okay, hold on.
I hope my camera gets that nice and clear. Yeah. Y'all can see that question in the chat. Just give me a yes if that's clear for you all to see.
That's a good one.
Yes, I'm seeing a thumbs up. Yes, awesome. And y'all think about this question as well. It's good for you as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good one. I got it. I got it.
But every day of the year, we have one of these 366. So this is our special Freedom Series edition box of
That's
questions to ask our guests.
mm, 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 mm.
Awesome.
It's my percentage point. Let's start with that.
Ooh, let me hear it.
All right.
I'm going to turn
The
this one
day,
on.
all right. The daily percentage is 10%.
Mhm.
Okay. I've been doing that for quite some time. 10% of my whole account. Okay. Every day.
Wow.
I'll be at risk of clinging to that. Let me tell you why. Because it's easy. But I do know sometimes you're supposed to push yourself a little more. And I'm now seeing more than that, but I'm just at this point where I done got there. We go back into the trap a little bit where I think I'm okay with that 10%. This is what I say at risk of clinging to because I haven't added anything. I'm not consuming or nothing like that. So I became a little more comfortable in this space. Okay. And I want to be able to stretch myself, but I ain't ready yet. So that's why I'm at risk of clinging to right now.
How would you let go of it?
I don't know you.
How would you let go of it?
Oh, how would I let go? Uh, that's something to consider now that I got a new grandbaby on the way. So
Ah.
that might push me a little bit. Push me a little more. You're always getting pushed a little bit more every day.
Love then.
Yes.
Love.
Yes.
Now, that's touching. Let me see. I'm going through some more cards here. We're gonna choose another one, all right? Thank
Yes.
you. That was an excellent
Yes.
answer. It's so touching. You're gonna make me cry before we're out of here now. I've been trying, keeping my eyes dry, but it's been a struggle. All right, so we have our next group of questions. I'm gonna start from your right and I'm gonna move towards the left, okay? So you tell me stop when you're ready. We have 1, 2.
Stop.
All right, let's go. Stop at number 2. Ooh, this is a good one. What is a hidden strength that you haven't used yet to build wealth? Oh, your face. These are good questions, right?
So that's deep. It's deep, bro. Okay, okay.
These questions are awesome. I'm so impressed by the questions. There's something else. So what's a hidden strength that you haven't used yet to build your wealth?
Truth is, my ability to sustain relationships.
Really? Ooh. How does that show up? Like your ability to sustain relationships. What does that come through as? The things that you do or
Someone said to me is an older gentleman, old native guy.
mm-hmm.
He said to me, he said, always be good to people, right? Always
Right.
treat people nice, always be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And everything will work out for you. It's just real simple, nothing complicated. It's nothing complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that and I was like, all right, I have to learn how to master relationships.
Right.
I've mastered the relationship with my husband, I deal with my children, and those in my network around me. That is the one thing I have not utilized yet. But the moment that I do, and those around me know, and those that work with me know, that the moment that we all master this and use it to our ability, it's wrap.
You're her.
I'm her.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% endorsed. You are her. See how much people are loving this chat? Have you seen the excitement in the chat? They're just so glad that you're
A
here.
little bit.
They're just so glad that you're here. Tell me something. They're so glad that you're here. All right, so we're going to do one more, and I'm going to release you from being held hostage as long as there, no more comments. So
Yeah,
greetings,
sure.
but thank you. Let's see. Now we have the third round. This is round 3, guys. This is the last round, okay? So this is, let me see, this is your left. No, this is your right, right? And this is your left. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Stop.
5.
5.
Okay, cool. I like this game. I could do this all day. Oh, yeah. All right. So, ooh, you're going to rock back for this one. How do we stay faithful to the seed when we cannot as yet see the fruit? You see, I know, I knew you would. How do you stay faithful to the seeds that you're planting when you can't as yet see those fruits? This is something else, huh?
You know, when you first have that thing where you believe,
Yeah.
you already know when you plant that seed that you're going to create a wonderful thing. You already know. You just got to wait on it, right?
Mhm.
You just got to really wait on it. That's how you not steer yourself away from it. Wait on it. I plant now. My husband plants, and it took a while for the seeds to grow. You know, you plant the seeds, play in the soil, and then you watch it sprout. But if you think about it, we're the same way. Everything we plant, it grows. You got to water it. You got to play in the dirt a little bit. You got to talk to that thing. You got to think about that thing. You got to create that thing. You got to like masterfully create, meditate on it, pray about it, uh, envision it, dream it, smell it, taste it. You got to just do it. And then as you like, and that's like you babysitting and you taking care of it. You know, it's like you really taking the time to just focus on that seed, watch it grow, look at it, talk to it, nurture it, those things. And just enjoy the growth as it sprouts. Just
Mhm.
start enjoying the experience of every sprout. That's what I could say. That's how you stay focused in that thing. Enjoy the experience of every sprout.
Sprout. Enjoy the experience of every sprout.
Yes.
Ooh, ooh, that's gorgeous. Thank you, Sister Kawanna. I'm grateful.
Yes. Thank you.
Wisdom, thick like gravy. Everybody, I did put in the chat. If you all want to show Sister Kawanna some appreciation, feel free to click that link and say thank you. So, do you all have any final questions or comments to Sister Kawanna? This is your final call before we release Sister Kawanna into the vibration of beauty and strength and wisdom. We allow her to
I
continue
got
to
you.
flow along her way. Everybody is saying thank you in the chat. I'm seeing
Thank you.
in the Q&A. Shalonda is saying, the first word that you spoke, I felt the spirit of peace and calm from you. Your voice is a healer. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm
People are
glad to
saying,
be here.
thank you so much for this. I needed to hear this. People are giving their thanks. They love it. Women and men alike are loving it. They're saying this has been awesome. They're saying thank you for your wisdom. All right. They said, grateful for your essence. We are, yes, we are. They love your energy. They love everything about you, Sister Kawanna. Thank you for the gems you dropped tonight. I'm just
Yes.
quoting what everybody's saying, and they're saying wonderful session. They're so grateful. Mrs. Kawanna, we want to thank you so much for your presence.
Thank you for having
For your
me. I
energy.
appreciate it. Much blessings. Much
Thank you.
love to you too.
Thank you. This was just the perfect freedom series to see our new traders off into the trading life. I hope
Yes.
that everyone who is about to trade, that you all were able to listen into this session. I wish you all Godspeed, very good luck. You all can do this. Listen to yourselves, meet yourselves. Do as Sister Kawanna says. Don't allow yourselves to stay into the trap. Rise to the vibration, the place where you want to be. You can do this. And just like she's discovered this about herself, you can discover it about yourself too, to realize that yes, you are good. You are enough. You all can do this. Mrs. Kawanna, you're the best. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
It's a pleasure to have you on tonight. We are so great.
Likewise.
We are so grateful. The
I'm
playlist,
grateful too.
thank you. The playlist will be uploaded and updated within the next few hours, you all, and then we will send our thanks to you all via email along with the playlist link. And again, some links for Sister Kawanna. If you're inspired, just say thank you. It's up to you. But, we do show our appreciation here at the Abakuas. Thank you all very much. Thank you for your presence, Sister Kawanna. Thank you all very much for being a wonderful audience tonight, for your fantastic questions. And then we will see you all next month for Freedom Series number 6 with the most devastating trader. That's the title that she has. sister cookie. So thank you all so much. Thanks, Mrs. Kawanna. Have a wonderful evening. Blessings to everyone. Good night. Good night.